hurt me. Do you wanna feel how it feels? Do you wanna know it doesn't hurt me? Do you wanna know about the deal that I'm making? It's you and me. And if I could, I'd make a deal with God. Yeah, I can't just swap our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building. If I only could, if I only could. You don't wanna hurt me, but see how deep the bullet lies. Unaware till you asunder. There is thunder in our hearts. It's a sound chain for the ones we love. Tell me we both murdered away. It's you and me. And if I could, I'd make a deal with God. Yeah, I can't just swap our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill, be running up that building. If I only could, if I only could. If only I could, I'd make a deal with God, and I'd get him to swap our places. Come on, baby, come on, darling, let me steal this moment from you now. Come on, angel, come on, darling, let's exchange the experience. And if I could, I'd make a deal with God. Yeah, I can't just swap our places. Be running up that road, be running up that hill, with no problems. And if I could, I'd make a deal with God. Yeah, I can't just swap our places. Keep running up that road, keep running up that hill, with no problems. If only I could be running up that hill. If only I could be running up that hill. If I only could. Running up that hill. If only I could. No problem. If I only could. No problem. If I only could. No
And hello, everybody. Welcome once again to the Devil's Hour. My name is Geoff with a G, and for the next, hour or so, I'll be showcasing the weird, the wild, and the wonderful, all for you. How's everybody doing? You doing good? I'm doing okay. I've got a lot of big news that's happened in this past week or so. At the time of recording, this is what's going on. Got booked to do a show in Toronto in January. I had some time off. I have to get my passport in order, but I'm going to Toronto with some really good friends of mine to do a lot of really cool stuff. What else? Got booked for another big show in October, which is also going to be dope. It's going to be here in New York, but it's going to be another big show. One like kind of similar to what I did back beginning of this month, being July 1st. What else? Oh yeah, I'm now part of the Sightseers by the Seashore here at Coney Island, so that's pretty dope. I start Thursday, this coming Thursday, so it's gonna be a lot of fun. Where I'll be talking up the acts and stuff like that, and maybe do some small stuff inside. We'll see how that goes. At the very least, I'm talking up the big acts, which is what I love. You know me. See this show? It's what I do. I talk up stuff. That's what's dope. But anyways, you know what time it is, right? Fox News. Uh, so Vince McMahon has officially retired from running the WWE. At 77, it seemed like a good age to retire, don't you think? But really, the age has really little to do with this. It's pretty much expected that before this past week, everybody was just pretty much guessing he's going to be running that company until he basically keels over at like 112 or whatever. Family lives a long time. But yeah, no, he did a quick retirement from his publicly traded company because an investigation is currently ongoing concerning the fact that he's paid over $12 million to various women over the years as kind of hush money for some, let's call it extramarital stuff. Extramarital. So yeah, so Vince is gone. And to take his place is now going to be his daughter, Stephanie, and her husband, former wrestler Triple H, who is now in charge of creative and talent relations. So yeah, I'm not saying there was a loser. I'm not saying that there was a lose and leave the company match, like an old school uh, wrestling trope. But to paraphrase Vince, personally, one of Vince's favorite phrases, but you're retired. Dumb joke. I get it. That's fine. But you know what else is a great, fun, dumb joke? The Turning Point USA. Hey, uh, they actually just had their big summit this past week in Tampa, Florida. And for those not familiar with Turning Point USA is basically like this ultra right wing organization that kind of has been mobilizing disaffected primarily white youths, as some sort of kind of Trump legend. Trump Jugend. Sorry, Trump Jugend. Trump youth. You kind of like the youth. Uh, um, at this past event, this is what we've learned from the following. One is alleged child trafficker Matt Gaetz says, why is it that women with the least likelihood of getting pregnant are the ones most worried about having abortions? Nobody wants to impregnate you if you look like a thumb. True quote. He said this. I have a feeling he'll probably change his tune when one of his quote unquote teenage thumbs ends up having to have a little procedure. What else? Everybody's favorite lunatic, Marjorie Taylor Greene, thinks that Republicans should rebrand as the the Christian Nationalist Party. Yeah. The only thing more blatant about her racism was talking about Jewish lasers. Who else? What else? Let's see. The Zodiac Killer basically gave his pronouns of being kiss my ass. Nope. Sorry. And of course, 45, well, he spent 2 hours bemoaning the fact that he is the most persecuted person ever. Never mind the thousands of years, hundreds of thousands, hundreds slash thousands, not hundreds of thousands, but hundreds, thousands slash thousands of, you know, slaves, the indigenous people of the U.S., who else has been persecuted? I mean, just crazy. But yeah, whatever. Oh, and let's not forget the literal Nazis out in front of the convention space, waving their Nazi and a DeSantis country flag as well, and the Florida flag, Nazi in the SS and all that foreign stuff. Um, and they're there hyping up our good friend, asshole Governor DeSantis, who's pretty much the person who will probably most likely be the Republican ticket for the upcoming election, assuming that 45 doesn't wish to tank the careers of everybody. Yeah. So, can I just personal note right here? Florida, state of Florida. You can only blame so much on the meth. Get help. You need help. And of course, there's this. You're welcome, everybody. We've got a great show. We've got the Night Crickets. We've got Xander Lovecraft. We've got Night Spins. And all sorts of other weird, fun, and great shenanigans. So stay tuned. We'll be right back, and let's have some fun.
Hey everyone! Planet Lisdom now has a Patreon. Your help will allow Liz to make the show even bigger, cover costs, and help bring on celebrity guests. Go to patreon.com/Planet Lisdom and pledge now.
How are we doing? We doing good? Good, I'm glad. Let's talk about our first guest, shall we? So, what do you get when you mix 1/4 of arguably the greatest goth band ever, one of the original thirds of a seminal early alternative band, and one supremely talented multi-instrumentalist? If you answered the Night Crickets, well, you'd be right. David J., Victor De Lorenzo and Darwin Meisters have actually come together to bring you this really, really cool, amazing sound and record. You need to check them out. It's really, really dope. So what's really cool is off of their debut album, just called A Free Society, I will bring you The Unreliable Narrator. Good night, crickets, everybody.
The Unreliable Narrator.
The unreliable narrator gets his intel second-hand from disreputable sources, not au fait with the lay of the land. He listens to Chinese whispers from sisters of the church, of conspiracy and hearsay, where little birds do perch. He's blinded not by science, but by alternative facts. He looks for clues to solve the case and falls down all the cracks. The unreliable narrator, he has an axe to grind and a cache of theories, the conspiratorial kind.
The Unreliable Narrator. The Unreliable Narrator.
Narrator. Narrator. Narrator. The rabbit hole, it is so deep and yet so shallow too. You can't believe a word he says, so you're foolish if you do.
I've got that fever, man. The temperature outside, the closed door, the slow tempo. These blackbirds never fly. Reach down in your pockets, girl. Show me what you found. My notebook with all my lyrics. Hey, I never claimed to be profound. Show me that tatted sleeve. You gotta thrill me or inspire me. Tell me how you're writing them down. Let's go down to New Orleans. Voodoo, I put a spell on me. You do, I make the picture scream. Try to get the image out that you can see.
Sideshow Hootenanny in New
Wasn't that a lot of fun? I thought so. I thought it was really a lot of fun. So definitely make sure you check them out. Pick up the record. It's going to be dope. And you know what time it is, right? That's right. Let's talk a little sideshow history, shall we? Boom, sideshow history. So today I'm going to talk about something fun, something interesting. So it's got a little story behind it, and I'll explain what it is as we progress. So what I want you to do is I want you to imagine it's July 1842. An English gentleman by the name of Dr. J. Griffin, said to be the member of the British Lyceum of Natural History, arrived in New York City bearing a remarkable curiosity. Right? A mermaid was supposedly caught near the Fiji Islands in the South Pacific. Now, the press was expecting him since throughout the summer they had been receiving letters from Southern correspondents describing the doctor and his mermaids. So, when he finally checked in his hotel, reporters were waiting for him, demanding to see this mermaid. Now, grudgingly, he obliged, and what they saw totally convinced them of the creature's authenticity. It's kind of the little logo there of the thing, those exhibitions. So soon after this, the showman, P.T. Barnum, visited the offices of major papers where he explained that he'd been trying to convince Dr. Griffin to display the mermaid at his museum. Unfortunately, the doctor was unwilling to do so, so Barnum volunteered to give the papers use of a woodcut of beautiful bare-breasted mermaids that he had prepared since they were now useless to him. Papers, each thinking they had the exclusive, happily accepted the offer, and on Sunday, July 17th, the woodcuts actually appeared in all of the papers. Simultaneously, Barnum also distributed 10,000 copies of a pamphlet detailing mermaids throughout the city. The mermaids in the pamphlet were also represented as seductive ocean maidens. And with this publicity, anticipation to see the Fiji mermaid, as it was now being called, became enormous. It was the main topic of conversation throughout the entire city. Everyone was talking about it, whether there was a real mermaid, but they had to see it for themselves. So finally, Dr. Griffin agreed to exhibit it for 1 week at Concert Hall on Broadway, and huge crowds showed up for this exhibit. Dr. Griffin lectured on the crowds about this experience as an explorer and described his theories of natural history. Now, some of these theories were a bit peculiar. For instance, his main argument was that mermaids had to be real because all things on land also had their counterpart in the sea. You know, sea horses, sea lions, sea dogs, etc. So, of course, there must be sea humans. Right? Yeah. After a week-long engagement at the concert hall, Dr. Griffin agreed to allow the mermaid to stay longer in New York City. So it was actually finally moved to Barnum's American Museum, where it was exhibited for a month without extra charge. Ticket receipts for the museum promptly tripled. Basically, you pay a ticket to go to the museum, see everything. They had a few stuff they had to pay extra for, but this didn't have to pay anything extra for. Now, throughout all of this, the deception of the public, because this is what it was, deception, was threefold. So first, although the advertisements had shown that the mermaid is said to have the body of a young woman. Where am I at? Sorry, I got messed up on things. The creature itself was less attractive. Sorry, supposed to be less attractive. It had the withered body of a monkey that was basically with a dried tail of a fish. Second, Dr. Griffin didn't exist. Well, person existed, but there was no real Dr. Griffin, and he wasn't even an English gentleman. In fact, there's actually no such thing as the British Lyceum of Natural History. Griffin's real name was Levi Lyman, and he was Barnum's accomplice in disguise. The mermaid's introduction and exhibit had all been the brainchild of Barnum all along. He actually arranged for the letters to Dr. Griffin to be sent to New York from various agencies, and also had basically carefully orchestrated on what would happen when Dr. Griffin finally, quote unquote, arrived in New York City. Had been all given to give a scientific respectability towards the Fiji mermaid. Why? Because finally, the mermaid's fake. And Barnum knew it. He actually leased the mermaid from a Boston showman by the name of Moses Kimball, who in turn had bought it from some weird sea dude. But before doing so, Barnum actually consulted a naturalist to inquire about the mermaid's actual authenticity, of which it's fake. But, not like Barnum cared about that. He cared more about the story than the reality. And all he had to do was basically make people believe that it was real, which is why he set everything up the way it was. That's why he hired a phony naturalist. That's why he put it on the pictures. That's why he did things like throw the naked woodcuts into the paper, because that would draw a frenzy, because people were expecting to see that. So they were going, "Oh, naked lady? Come on, dudes. You know how dudes are." So basically created the fact is that everybody wanted to see this like that. What's interesting, in fact, is that this Fiji mermaid, I'm going to use like this, the OG, and it's not even the OG, it's just of the quote unquote famous Fiji mermaids. This is the famous one. It actually toured quite a bit when it was not. If it was in the U.S., not touring, it was either at Kimball's Museum in Boston or Barnum's American Museum in New York City, and that's where it alternated back and forth in case it did tour, which it toured across the U.S., toured Europe, and everything like that. And then one day it just disappeared. Nobody knew what happened to it. There's some talk that it had been destroyed in the fire that destroyed the fire of Barnum's American Museum, which burned everything to the ground. There's also talk the fact is it actually, and that was in 1865. It's also talk the fact is that it may have been actually at Kimball's at the time, and then it would have burned down when Kimball's museum burned down in the 1880s. So the original mermaid is unlikely to exist anymore. But there are lots of people who have been making them ever since, and so you can definitely check it out. There's tons of recreations available, so you definitely want to check it out. It's one of the most famous gaffes of all time, the Fiji mermaid. So kind of fun, huh? Yeah. Anyways, we're right back.
Hey, spooky friends!
I'm Dr. Mysterion.
I'm Catherine the Great.
Come join us on our new podcast, Hey Spooky Friends!
Available on Spotify and Anchor.
All things paranormal, spooky,
weird,
and somewhat bothersome.
That's you.
I think that's me. So we'll see you and you'll hear us.
Yeah, both.
On our new podcast. See you then.
And we're back. How are we doing? We doing okay? I'm doing good. I'm doing fine. I'm doing things all over the time. So let's talk about our next guest, shall we? Our next guest is the amazingly talented Xander Lovecraft. While small in stature, he is big in personality and talent. Xander has actually been gracing the Sideshow stage for a number of years now. Really, really good guy. We've known each other for a bit personally, hang out. We're big wrestling fans, so we chat about wrestling quite a lot. And I always love to see him perform. And I actually really can't wait to see him perform again. He was supposed to come up to Coney Island, but due to other things, he couldn't do so. So, anyways, let's give it up and check out Xander Lovecraft.
There we go. Hello, Cleveland! They gave me the mic stand with the telescope setting. Those things are always hard to adjust, if you know what I'm talking about. There we go. It's been a while since I've been here. I got to be here last year at the Ohio Burlesque Festival. It was really honored to perform. I'm glad to be back with you tonight. How's everybody doing? Why did they put me on after the Tribe Burlesque duet? Wow. Can we turn the music down just a little bit? I can't hear myself think, which is not a rare occurrence. Anyway, I'm here tonight to show you some of my favorite sideshow acts as I am on my way to Coney Island later this summer. ConeyIsland.com. I think that's the one, whatever. Anyway, we're going to start things off with a classic sideshow act. Yes, I always keep a hammer in my pants. Ladies, okay. I'm going to start things off with a traditional, there we go. Don't drink before the show. Start things off with a traditional sideshow act. It goes all the way back to the 1940s, which is the heyday of the sideshow midway, but pre-sideshow it dates further back than that. Ladies and gentlemen, the act I'm about to do is called The Human Blockhead. Reach into my nail pocket and pull out my nail. If I can get Miss Abby Dotton back out here. Is the count in the audience? That was a great laugh. I can just have you stand right here, Abby, for the moment. Now, this is a nail, of course. Abby, I need you to take that nail. I need you to press on it on both ends. Make sure it doesn't fold, bend, or collapse in any way. Make sure this is a legit nail.
Bite it!
Light it? Bite it? Oh. She probably doesn't want to bite it, knowing where it's been. I'll bite it. Calm down. Ow. You know, I chipped my tooth. I'm going to send you my bill. God damn it. She says it's a legit nail. I need you to stay right here for the next part of this act. She has no idea what she's about to do, so this is going to be fun. Whatever you said, I'm sort of in agreement, kind of, maybe, I think. Alright, here we go. I have a nail, I have my hammer, and I have my face. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, or a don't, yeah, you got it, I know. You were right there with me, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Human Blockhead. I have to do it. Don't put the don't do it girl from the front row. Okay, don't do it. All right, calm your tits down. We're gonna do it. Darling, what's your name? Huh? Lauren, you make my job way too easy, thank you. Here we go, The Human Blockhead. Slides, actually. At least not anymore. Now, Abby, I need you to come on over here. This is the part where you come in. I'm sorry, not really. Let's have you stand right here. Abby, as you can see, there's a large metal spike in the center of my skull. Well, the doctors say my brain is, but I haven't hit it yet. At least I recall. Now, we're going to need to get this thing out, and that's where you come in. You are going to help me pull this nail out of my skull. But you're not going to use your hands. Whoa. She's not going to use that either, dude. Seriously, that's a sick mind. You're a gross person. Thank you so much for coming to the show. No. She's going to be using her... Good Lord. Why are all the dirty birds in the front row? Never mind, I just answered my own question. She's going to use her teeth. Psycho weirdos in Cleveland. Now, Abby, here's how it's going to go. Audience, I'm sure you all are up to date on your numbers, so we're going to count to 3 together. 3 is a really good number. We're going to count to 3. I'm going to turn to face you, Abby. I'm going to lean forward. You're going to lean forward as well and bite down on just the tip. Just the tip. Whoa. Let's bring it down. You guys are at about a 17. I need you at about a 2.5. Just the tip of the nail. Psycho. At that point, do not move, do not yank, stay perfectly still. I will do the rest of the work. That's right, ladies, I am not selfish in the slightest. God, I'm so alone. I'm having an existential crisis on stage. Perfect timing. All right, here we go. Are you guys ready? Good. Are you? Of course, you're absolutely right. I don't even need to ask you. I don't even need to ask your opinion on this. You're up here. You're standing right there. You haven't left. She's ready. Here we go, audience. Come along with me. 1, 2. Wait, what comes after 2? Oh, all right. We'll start over. 1, 2, 3. That is uncalled for. I am watching you. All right, let's do this. You can do this. This is a trust building exercise. I trust you, and you obviously trusted me enough to come on stage. You were right there. Why are you guys chasing me? We may actually go the full 15 minutes of this. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay, you're gonna come down to my level. I see that. Okay, here we go. Well, I don't want you to move. I don't recall asking you to move. All right, let's do this. I'm just gonna. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Thank you so much, darling. Abby Dalton, playing the role of assistant.
Vaudevisuals Press is proud to announce the publication of Don't Miss This. Over 200 stunning photographs document the last decade of eccentric performing arts in America. This beautiful hardcover book features the finest theatrical clowns, sideshow performers, burlesque stars, and alternative variety acts from New York City and beyond. Photography by Jim R. Moore. Don't Miss This is a limited edition, so buy now before it disappears. Purchase at vvpress.com.
Xander Lovecraft, everybody. Wasn't that a lot of fun? I really dug him a lot. How are we doing? We doing okay? I hope so. Good. Now, as you guys know, I like showcasing the weird, the wild, and the wonderful. And I also like showcasing my friends to do stuff back, especially back when I was first doing this show over 2 years ago. And so I want to talk about somebody I talked with in the past to make sure they can still get some love. So what do I want to talk about? I want to talk about the award-winning aerial and burlesque performer, Emma Dilemma. Now, they've been wowing audiences with their circus train routines for several years ago. Now, they've begun kind of doing some stuff with their cat, Little Kevin, into this circus life. Now, the reason why he's called Little Kevin is because there was also another cat in the household that was already called Kevin, and that Kevin is actually bigger, so hence Little Kevin and Kevin. Anyways, check this out.
Hi, my name is Emma Dilemma, and this is Kevin. There he is. Hi.
Well, I had a little shot of whiskey yesterday. Had a little shot of whiskey yesterday. But ever since you said goodbye, all I do is cry and cry. Little shot of whiskey yesterday. I took a little toke of reefer yesterday. Took a little toke of reefer yesterday. But ever since you said goodbye, all I do is get real high. I took a little toke of reefer yesterday. Well, call me up, say you still love me, 'cause I don't think you really care. And I took a little time to miss you yesterday. Took a little time to miss you yesterday. But ever since you said goodbye, hang my head, I wanna die. Little time to miss you yesterday.
Is your bar looking a little ordinary? Is it lacking something awesome? Well, head out to your local liquor store and pick up something extraordinary. Grab a bottle of Old Humble Straight Whiskey or Old Humble Special Reserve. They're clean, smooth, easy drinking whiskeys that taste the way whiskey should taste. From humble beginnings to an extraordinary finish, Old Humble whiskeys are what your bar needs today. Walk tall, be awesome, and drink humble. Old Humble Straight Whiskey and Old Humble Special Reserve. Get yours today.
Wasn't that lots of fun? I thought so. I thought it was great fun. As you guys know, I like showcasing the weird, the wild, and wonderful, and that includes things like short films. And also things that I have other loves too, which include sometimes some weird documentaries. So here's one of my favorite things I like doing witnessing is wrestling. And so here is a little thing about a really, really amazing wrestler. So check this out.
And that's why I participate here, because I feel like at least once I get through it, that I'm still going to feel, competent and confident, and not just, oh, I did a thing and now I'm bleeding. It made sense and we did it and we took it all the way. And this was necessary for our story to go to this level of violence. We'll see. All right, I'm going to finish getting ready. With wrestling, I get to be the show, I get to put together the show, and I get to fully express myself. I'm a wild, angry, gay, brawling son of a bitch. But I am also someone who takes it very seriously and really enjoys wrestling and learning all the styles. I feel like I'm a person who can do any match at this point, and I love that. And for a while, I think it's hard for guys to get used to fulfilling their role in the show. Whether it's a 6-minute match or a 12-minute comedy match or a 20-minute main event match, and do that to the style that is necessary and do that to the believability of the crowd for as much believability as you need, there's a real satisfaction in that for me. The problem is, right now you feel like nerves, and you would think as a performance, like, oh, there's so many people here. But the nerves are just like, don't fall too deep in the glass. We'll be fine. I love Southern wrestling. I love Memphis wrestling. I love Crockett wrestling. I love throwing some arms and being heavy and throwing guys around. But I also love setting up intricate comedy spots and setting up these silly stories that take place over this weird, violent one-act play.
That's very cool.
It looks like dog shit, but I don't really give a fuck.
Bloodthirsty motherfuckers are gonna get your thirst quenched here this afternoon!
I've tried a lot of different art forms. I've tried writing. My mother's a really good writer. I've tried music, anything from viola to hip hop music to playing in rock bands.
You know my phrase I just gave him? Well, all words are made up. This is a simulation and you're already dead.
All of these things are cool on their own and they're great. But I didn't get to scratch every itch until I put it all together within wrestling. Because there's the entertainment and there's the dress up and the costume and the music and the pageantry of the whole thing. And then there's this aggressive, intense, physical, violent, crazy part that is the main attraction of the whole show. As I've just sort of leaned into myself, as I've sort of let myself go wild, I've seen that the skills I do have are very applicable to wrestling, and I get a great deal of enjoyment from seeing all the different ways I can use the skills I've learned throughout my life, throughout my education, throughout my other jobs, throughout my other musical endeavors, and put them all into one place.
When you take something like all that glass and barbed wire and then you bring in salt and vinegar chips to just mash into a wound, people really understand torture and gruesomeness there and can sympathize with you because they're going, oh, that is horrible. And you just kind of try to block your brain out and do it all. You jump through a table on the floor, you jump through stuff, you get hit with stuff, you hit yourself with chairs. Putting salt and vinegar chips into my wounds and then mashing them in with his hands was the most painful thing I have dealt with. Yeah, like this is genuine, this is horrible. I'm being tortured in front of 1,000 people, but it worked. From an honest perspective, I'm nervous because, all right, I feel like there's a lot riding on Effie being in this. It's Pride Month. It's a deathmatch tournament. I'm sort of an unexpected person in here, even though I've been in the community. There's a lot riding on that. So I try not to put as much pressure on myself to hold that, but like, especially when you're losing at the end of a match, when you're out of this match, that the people who showed up for you from your community, and you know this, that they don't feel like they got ripped off or they didn't get the full show or the full support. Like there's an expectation of like, hey, even if you don't win, if it's not all there and if you don't put all your heart in it, then they're not going to feel like they got the whole show, and I don't want anyone leaving feeling like that.
Did it go too long?
Did it go too long? Now here's the thing. I'm sitting in the ring thinking, maybe we are going too long. Maybe we are selling too long. But in those moments, when you were feeling the build of people, you know that that timing is helping you. And so as things drag on, it may be longer than we should have gone, but there wasn't a moment where the crowd felt exasperated or where they weren't waiting or where they weren't excited about what was coming. So it's me being a little selfish because 9 times out of 10, you come up to me and you say, hey bro, we got to cut minutes off this show. Anywhere I go, yes sir, I'll still get over and we'll make it work. Tonight was, I got to be a little selfish. I see my people out here and I'm going to get all my shit in. So long for who? I don't know. We're past it now. They went off for the salt and vinegars, baby.
Girl,
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck?
It hurt.
So harsh for.
Turns out it hurt. I was like, this is horrific.
Your ass is out for the camera.
Got some cheese.
Oh! That should be our back shot. Yeah, that's. Should I pull it a little more?
That's beautiful. I'm gonna do a fish out of water spot with kids. And then
Queen shit.
finish. Nice set tower on him while he's kneeling in the center, and I run from the corner with the like charging shoulder tackle headbutt.
Turn around.
With it just right, just charge at him. Yeah, that's gonna It's like
I talked to Trip Cassidy last night of the Carnies. He said, you know, the thing about you is you always make it sound like you don't really want to go hard. He's like, but whatever you get put into, you go hard anyway. And I was like, yeah, but it's cuter to be nonchalant. It's much cuter to look like you're not putting in the effort and then just let your work actually show for it.
I'm an artist. You are the difference tonight, right? Like usually if there's one death on the show, it's like that's the difference. When you finish the first appetizer, usually Italian restaurants, for example, you do a pasta first. You do a salad and a pasta. They bring you a lime or an orange sorbet. You eat the sorbet, the citrus cleanses your palate. The cleanser. You're exciting, you're fun, you're fast, you're over the top, you're big, and you're ready for now the main steak. Not that you're not meat, but you're also like, there's a roll. There's a history.
yes, sir.
I'm coming for you next. I'm next.
I want it, Mac. Janella ducked you, pal.
Ricky, it's your line. The fuck you talking? It's your line. You're supposed to ask me how the fucking tacos were.
I thought you said that.
No, you just. Oh, hey, man. How the fuck were those tacos last night? Actually, you know what? The tacos were pretty good, but you know they weren't hot enough.
Weren't hot enough? Oh, you need green bastard hot sauce for your tacos and all your food. Oh, yeah.
You've got your own fucking hot sauce?
Bob's, who? Bob's. Green bastard parts unknown.
It's nice, Bubs.
Give it a try, Ricky.
Holy fuck, man, that's good.
Oh, yeah.
You should be selling this shit. We should do a commercial for this. Not for tacos.
Holy fuck, Ricky. We are doing a commercial for this.
It's fucking good.
Green bastard hot sauce. It'll fucking crank you one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, wasn't that interesting? Effie, pretty dope. How are we doing? We doing okay? Good, I hope so. Let's talk about our next guest, shall we? So, Night Spins. They're actually a garage pop band from New York City, right here. That's laced with grit, dark humor, and a rock and roll attitude. Calling upon their experiences working at places like burlesque clubs, circus shows, and raunchy variety clubs all around New York City, this four-piece band melds its theatrical background with influences like Iggy Pop, Modest Mouse, and David Byrne for this unrivaled and must-see display of contemporary showmanship. And you can definitely hear all that on their brand new single, which is called Bad Drunk, on their album right here. So please check it out. Night Spins, Bad Drunk. Here you go.
pick the pieces off the ground. Anything we can salvage now. Left my Sunday shoes upstairs and I won't get up. If we don't hurry, we'll miss the boat. Just another drunk with all that hope. I don't even drink that much, but I fill my cup. Pour me one more shot to go. Maybe just another for the road. Wait a minute. Where in hell did time just go? You've been holding me tight, but you're all alone. Fell asleep in the hallway 'cause I locked me out. Searching for the will to live. Something down south's about to give. Pack your bags and said goodbyes. I beg you to stay. Told you I would quit this shit. Drink another bottle before you split. A broken glass. My goddamn hands are full of blood. Another fight. This goddamn shit's about to blow. You've been holding me tight, but you're all alone. You're all alone. I don't know what I said, what I felt, what I meant that night. 'Cause I'm just a drunk piece of shit. I want you here, I wanna hold you tight, and I just wanna get some sleep. But you're all alone.
Hi, Boobdini here. Are you bored in the house and in the house bored? Well, we have the answer for you. It's the brand new burlesque deck. It will help you play with yourself while you're home alone.
Solitaire has never been this sexy. Ooh, Miss Orchid May goes right on top of Simone Del Mar.
Bored playing with yourself? Play with others.
Zoom has never been this much fun.
2, 3, war! War! Ooh, I have a now just slightly by Simone Del Mar. Yay! Not only do you get these 52 amazing playing cards, but we've included this, a cheat sheet of who the 26 performers are. Buy yourself a deck today. Cure the boredom at burlesquedeck.com.
What'd you guys think? Such a great band. I really dig them a lot. I definitely recommend you picking up their stuff. They're doing a little mini tour right now, so if they happen to be in your town, check it out. It's definitely worthwhile. Yeah. Did we have a good time? I had a great time. I always have a good time talking to you guys and showcasing the weird, the wild, and the wonderful all for you guys. So, as such, let's do some big thanks who are too small for some reason. I don't know why. Here we go. Professionalism. Who should we thank? Well, let's thank the Night Crickets, of course. They don't have their own social media, so I'm sending you guys to their label so you can pick up all their stuff. Go to Instagram at Omnivore Recordings and www.omnivorerecordings.com to keep track of everything they have going on currently and pick up that record. Who else should we thank? Let's thank Xander Lovecraft. You can follow them on Instagram at Rev_Lovecraft. And then they have a Twitch channel where they play a lot of really fun games. You can watch them play games, chat with them, and stuff like that. Really cool memberships where you can do lots of cool stuff with them. So go to twitch.tv/Rev_Lovecraft. Finally, let's thank the Night Spins. Follow them on Instagram at Nightspins. And then, of course, go to www.nightspins.com. It's really, really dope. And don't forget, we also need to thank Emma Dilemma for showcasing Little Camden with us. That's a lot of fun. So, and of course, thank you guys. So, if you enjoyed the show, please be sure to like and subscribe. It does me a great deal of service to make stuff better because I eventually want to get this stuff bigger and better. I know people are watching, so just make sure you like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. So, thank you guys once again for tuning in. Always be safe, be cool, be groovy, and as always, keep drinking. Bye.